Welcome to the Medical Device Sales Intro course. You're looking for a career that's fast-paced, high-impact, and has massive earnings potential. You've come to the right place. Medical device sales is one of the most exciting and competitive fields in healthcare, and it offers incredible opportunities for those who are prepared. This course was built specifically for people starting from zero. Whether you're pivoting careers or just getting started, we're going to walk you through every step of how to land a job in this industry. And you can do it in as little as 12 weeks. You're going to learn how to speak the language of healthcare professionals, how to navigate hospitals and operating rooms, and how to understand the products and procedures, and most importantly, how to sell in one of the most technical, respected, and lucrative markets out there. This isn't fluff. You're learning real skills, real strategies, and real insights used by top reps in the field today. This is the same playbook I used to break into the industry, and the same one that others have followed to launch six-figure careers without going back to college. We've had many students complete this program and successfully start their careers in medical device sales. These are people that are just like you, and many of them started in completely different fields, from retail workers to teachers, and made the leap into medical device sales without a degree or previous experience. I've shared several of their success stories on my YouTube channel. You'll hear directly from them about how they did it and how you can do the same. I highly suggest you go give that a look. And by the end of this course, you'll be job ready with industry knowledge, a resume, and a proven plan to launch your career in medical device sales. In this intro course, we're going to touch on 3 topics. First, we'll talk about why medical device sales is such a great career, from the income potential to the life-saving work and the lifestyle it can provide. And second, we're going to explain what medical device sales actually is, what you'll be doing day to day, and who you'll be working with, and the types of products you'll be selling. And third, we'll show you how to break into the industry, even if you're starting from scratch, and what steps you need to take to land your first job. But before we jump in, what exactly is medical device sales? At its core, it's about connecting healthcare providers with the life-saving equipment and technology that they rely on to deliver exceptional patient care. As a medical device sales rep, you're not just selling products, you're acting as the bridge between innovative manufacturers and the surgeons, doctors, and clinicians who use those tools to save lives. Whether it's surgical, implants, robotic systems, or diagnostic equipment, your role is to make sure these professionals have the right tools at the right time with the right training, so they can focus on what matters most, helping their patients. It's a career that's both technical and people-focused, and that's what makes it so powerful. So let's dig into why you should choose a career in medical device sales. Let's break it down. First, the earning potential. This is one of the few careers where breaking 6 figures is not just possible, but it's expected. With commission structures that reward performance, motivated reps can earn $100,000, $150,000, even $250,000 once they get established. Second, it's recession resistant, so healthcare doesn't slow down in a downturn. Hospitals and clinics still need equipment. Surgeries still happen, lives still need saving. And that means medical device sales jobs offer a level of security that most industries simply can't match. And third, the career path. This isn't just a dead-end job. You can start as an associate role, grow into a full-line rep, and eventually move into leadership, clinical education, or even marketing and strategy roles within the company. If you're ambitious, coachable, and ready to work hard, medical device sales offers a rare mix of impact, of income, upward mobility. But let's dig a little bit deeper, because I want to make sure you fully understand how great of an opportunity this is, and why medical device sales is one of the best careers. So you can start it right now, and it only makes sense to begin with what you would care about the most. So let's talk about the money, because if you've heard about this career, there's a good chance you've heard about the earnings potential. And let me tell you, it is real. The average medical device sales rep earns around $125,000 a year. Now, that's just not some inflated number. That's actual national average. So across all reps of all experience levels and all product types, that number includes a competitive base salary plus commission right from the start. The better you perform, the more you earn. There's virtually no cap, but it even gets better. So top performers, senior reps, the ones who have built strong relationships and consistently hit their numbers, often earn $250,000 or more per year, and some go even higher, depending on their territory, product line, and the company. And that's just at the rep level. Sales managers, directors, and VPs in this industry can earn multiple 6 figures, and some even cross the 7-figure mark, especially if they're overseeing large teams or managing high-performing product portfolios. This is one of the rare careers where your work ethic directly determines your paycheck. If you're the kind of person who's competitive, hungry, and thrives on performance, this is the type of career that rewards you for it. But here's the reality check. With high income comes high competition and even higher expectations. This isn't a job where you show up, do the bare minimum, and collect a fat paycheck. It's competitive, high-performance field, and the people who win in this space are the ones who outwork and outlearn and outlast everyone else. So if you're looking for something that's easy, this probably isn't going to be it. But if you're coachable, persistent, and ready to earn what you're actually worth, this is one of the best careers out there. Because when you combine a strong work ethic with a proven strategy, like the one you'll learn in this course, you put yourself in a position to build a 6-figure career faster faster than people ever imagine. Another great thing about this career is the job stability. So we've seen how unpredictable job markets can be, companies laying off, industries downsizing, entire careers being disrupted by automation and economic swings. But medical device sales, it's nearly resistant. So it's one of the most recession-proof careers you can get into. And here's why. First, it starts with industry stability. Healthcare is a non-discretionary sector. That means people don't stop needing medical care just because the economy slows down. Emergencies still happen, chronic conditions still exist, surgeries still need to be performed. Whether it's a strong economy or a recession, hospitals and clinics still need equipment, and medical sales reps are the ones who make sure they have it. Second, there's consistent demand for devices. Hospital surgery centers and outpatient clinics rely on steady support of medical tools, implants, monitors, and instruments. And with technology evolving rapidly, these devices are constantly being upgraded and improved, which means repeat business, new product launches year after year. That creates a built-in demand cycle that helps keep medical device sales reps in business even when other industries slow down. And there's the demographic growth. So we're living in a time where the global population is aging. And in the United States and around the world, people are living longer. And with that comes an increased need for surgeries, treatments, and medical interventions. That naturally leads to more devices and procedures and more demand for sales reps who understand the space. This demographic shift isn't going away. In fact, it's accelerating, which makes most of the future-proof careers you can choose. Put it all together, the essential nature of healthcare, the consistent demand for new technology, and the demographic forces driving long-term growth, and you've got a career path that's shock-resistant, recession-resistant, and always in demand. So what does a career in medical device sales look like? Once you break in, one of the biggest reasons people choose medical device sales beyond the earnings and stability is the incredible upward mobility. If you're driven, if you work hard, and you know how to perform, there's a clear path forward, and the opportunities only grow from here. Let's start with the entry point most people begin as, and that's an associate sales rep, or in some cases, a clinical specialist. These roles typically earn between $55,000 to $90,000 per year to start, with some clinical roles going as high as $100,000, especially if you're supporting in-demand procedures or high-value devices. From there, you'll move into the mid-career level, which usually after a solid few years of experience and proven results. This includes roles like territory sales rep or medical device sales rep, where earnings can jump to between $90,000 and $200,000 per year. At this stage, you often own a region, build strong relationships with hospitals and surgeons, and begin to generate serious commissions, especially if you're in a competitive product category. And once you've built a name for yourself, leadership opportunities open up, like regional sales managers, director of sales, or even VP of sales. Regional managers often bring in $150,000 to $260,000 per year. VPs of sales upwards of $600,000 at some companies. And for the few who rise to the top titles like chief sales officers, your earnings can hit $400,000 and beyond, depending on your company performance and bonus structure. So this is a career where the ladder is real and every rung is based upon results. And here's the best part. You don't need a degree to get started to climb it. So if you're not stuck waiting years to make real money, you can start building the skills now. Get your foot in the door and begin rising while others are still sitting in lecture halls trying to figure out what career to pursue. This path rewards performance, not pedigree. So if you're willing to learn, to hustle, and to build real relationships, this industry will reward you for it. Not just in pay, but in professional growth and long-term career stability. Oh shoot, I almost forgot. Let me introduce myself. My name is Matt Moran, so I'm a medical device sales representative, content creator, mentor, and the author of this course. But more importantly, I'm someone who's in exactly where you are right now. I didn't come from a sales background. I didn't have a degree in business or medicine. I started with no industry experience, no connections, just a hunger to break into a high-paying, meaningful career. Fast forward a few years, and now I've worked as a territory sales manager, a sales representative at Medtronic, one of the biggest names in the industry, and today I lead teams as an area sales manager, managing sales across Georgia and northern Florida. But let's rewind a bit, because I want you to know how I got here. I actually started my career in athletic training and exercise science. No sales, no medical credentials, just a passion for healthcare and a drive to grow. I used that foundation to get my foot in the door, landing my first role in durable medical equipment sales, or DME. That's where I learned how to take clinical knowledge and turn it into real value for healthcare providers. It taught me how to sell, how to build trust with doctors, and how to navigate this complex industry. But I didn't stop there. As I gained experience, I realized there were so many people out there, just like me, who wanted to break into this field but had no roadmap. So I started a YouTube channel, Med Sales with Matt, and I began sharing the exact strategies, mindset, and insider knowledge I was learning on the job. That channel quickly turned into a tight-knit community of ambitious professionals who were serious about launching high-paying, high-impact careers without wasting years of piling on student debt. And that's what laid the foundation for this course. Everything inside this course comes from real-world experience experience, not fluff, not theory, but proven tactics that I've used myself and that I've watched others use to land jobs at top companies all across the country. So if you're wondering, can I really do this without experience? The answer is yes, because I did it. And I built this course to help you do it too. If you're hungry, coachable, and ready to bet on yourself, you're in the right place. Now back to medical device sales. Another great thing about this career is that there are jobs in almost every single major city in the United States. So no matter where you live, a big metro area, suburb, smaller region, healthcare is everywhere. Hospitals, clinics, surgery centers, they all rely on medical devices to care for patients, and that means they all need sales reps to supply those tools, train providers, and support procedures. So right now, companies are hiring medical device sales reps across the country, from Washington, D.C. to St. Louis to Atlanta to Houston and everywhere else in between. Whether you're looking for on-site, hybrid, or even remote roles, there are opportunities out there. You don't have to live in a tech hub or a major market to likely find a role for you. So no matter where you're starting from or where you want to go, this is a career path with a real national demand. One of the most underrated perks of this career path is the flexibility you gain both early on and especially as you grow. So let's break that. You're not tied to one setting. You can work in busy hospitals, smaller outpatient clinics, or rural facilities, and as you build experience, you may even have the option to relocate or expand your territory. You also have control over what kind of medicine you want to be involved in. Some reps focus on cardiovascular, some on orthopedics, some on diagnostic tools, and you can choose between selling large capital equipment or fast-moving consumables. There's room to specialize and pivot as your interests evolve. And unlike many sales jobs, this isn't just pushing products. The devices you sell directly improve patient outcomes. Whether it's helping someone walk again, breathe easier, or recover from surgery, your work makes a real difference. And finally, the lifestyle. You'll manage your own schedule, balancing time in the field with time for calls, reports, or training. As you become more experienced, you'll gain even more autonomy. It's a fast-paced job, one that rewards discipline with freedom. So if you're looking for a career that gives you options in how you work, where you work, and what kind of impact you make, medical device sales offers all of that and more. And again, I just want to reiterate and tear down this stigma. You do not need a degree to get into medical device sales. This industry values skills, grit, and relationships far more than formal education. If you can learn fast, communicate clearly, and build trust with decision makers, you can succeed here. Is it a bit more challenging to break into without a degree? The short answer is yes, but it's not impossible. With the right training and direction, like what you'll get in this course, you can break into this career without wasting years and tens of thousands of dollars on a traditional path that doesn't even guarantee a job. Are there high expectations? Definitely. Some companies may still prefer a degree, especially for clinical roles, but I've seen countless people land jobs without one. So if you're coachable, hungry, and willing to put in the work, a degree won't hold you back, and this course will help you prove that. So are you ready to take the next step? Are you serious about breaking into medical device sales and you want a clear, proven path to get there? Then go ahead and click next video below, and we'll get into what medical device sales is and what a day in the life of a sales rep looks like. I'll see you there. All right, welcome back. In this video, we're going to dive deeper into medical device sales, what it is, what reps do, and what the job looks like day to day. Let's start with the big question. What exactly is medical device sales? At its core, medical device sales is the process of selling advanced healthcare technology. Things like surgical tools, diagnostic equipment, wound care products, and life-saving implants to hospitals, outpatient clinics, surgery centers, and individual healthcare providers. These reps are the bridge between the companies that manufacture medical products and the clinicians who use them to treat patients. But this job is more than just about selling a device. It's about helping providers improve patient outcomes by offering solutions that genuinely make a difference in clinical care. So now that you know what medical device sales is, let's talk about what a medical device sales rep actually does. As a rep, your role is part educator, part consultant, part problem solver, and 100% relationship builder. You're not just walking into a hospital with a product and hoping for the best. You're building trust, providing insight, and supporting providers at every stage in their journey. For example, if a surgeon is preparing for a procedure that requires a specialized implant, you're the one making sure that not only they get the right product, but that it's delivered on time, sterilized correctly, and supported with training if needed. In many cases, reps are in the operating room themselves, not scrubbing in, but standing by, offering product expertise and anticipating the needs of the surgical team. You're also expected to stay sharp on clinical data, understand reimbursement guidelines, manage logistics, and work seamlessly with internal company teams like marketing, engineering, and supply chain. It's a dynamic, high-responsibility role, and that's what makes it so rewarding. Let's walk through the typical sales process to see what this looks like in action. Step 1, prospect. First, you identify potential clients, hospitals, surgery centers, or individual providers, and research their needs, workflows, and decision makers. This is where you start mapping out opportunities. Step 2 is going to be engage and consult. So once you connect, it's time to build trust. You ask questions, listen carefully, and uncover what provider is really looking for. You're not pushing a product, you're helping solve a problem. Step 3, demonstrate. With the door open, you showcase your product. That could mean hands-on hands-on demos, in-service training, or even supporting a surgeon during a procedure. You're showing how your solution fits into the world and improves it. Step 4, close. So once the provider sees the value, you guide them through the purchasing process. That can involve everything from pricing to procurement, navigating hospital credentialing, and contracts. Step 5, support and grow. Even after the sale, the job isn't over. You're continuing to support the account, training staff, answering questions, troubleshooting, and staying top of mind when new opportunities arise. The goal isn't just to sell once, it's to become the provider's go-to partner, someone they trust, rely on, and want to work with again and again. Now, let's talk about the types of products you might actually be selling as a rep. Medical device sales is a huge industry, and is divided into several main categories, each with its own markets, strategies, and challenges. Capital equipment. These are large, high-value machines like MRI scanners, surgical robots, and diagnostic imaging systems. They often involve long sales cycles, high-level decision makers, and strategic budgeting decisions with hospitals. Surgical instruments. This includes orthopedic implants, suturing tools, and the specialized devices surgeons use in the operating room. Reps in this space often attend surgeries and offer in-the-moment product support. Disposables. Think catheters, wound care products, and biologics. These are single-use items that need to be reordered frequently, which means reps in this space focus heavily on relationships, product education, and supply chain reliability. Implantable devices. These are devices that go inside the patient, like pacemakers, stents, or artificial joints. Selling implantables often requires technical expertise and close coordination with surgeons or cardiologists. Diagnostic and monitoring devices. This includes products like glucose monitors, EKG machines, and remote patient tracking systems. These tools help providers detect, monitor, and manage patient health, often before or between procedures. Each of these categories plays a vital role in modern healthcare. Depending on your territory and product line, your day-to-day could look very different, but the mission stays the same, helping medical professionals deliver better care through the right tools. Now that you have a better understanding inside the world of a sales rep, what traits and personality types thrive in this profession? The truth is, this industry isn't for everyone. It takes a specific kind of person to thrive here, and knowing whether you're a good fit can save you time and help you commit with confidence. Let's walk through the traits that set top performers apart. First, networkers. If you're someone who naturally enjoys meeting people and building rapport and staying connected, this career plays to your strength. Relationships drive everything in this field, from getting in the door with a new account to becoming a trusted partner with surgeons and staff. Next, relationship builders. It's not just about first impressions, it's about follow through. Trust takes time, and the best reps know how to earn it by being present, helpful, and consistent. If you're the kind of person who likes investing in long-term connections, that's a major asset here. Then we have self-starters. No one's micromanaging you in this job. You'll have a territory, a quota, and a calendar, and how you run your day is mostly up to you. If you're disciplined, driven, and like taking initiative without needing constant direction, you'll do well. Continuous learners thrive in this space. Products change, surgical techniques evolve, regulations shift. You'll need to learn not fast, not just once, but constantly. If you're naturally curious and love mastering complex info, that's a huge advantage. This job also demands resilience and adaptability. You'll get told no, schedules will fall apart, a case might change last minute. You need to be someone who can handle setbacks, stay calm under pressure, and keep moving forward without getting discouraged. Finally, communicators win. You'll be explaining technical products to brilliant and often busy healthcare providers. If you can speak clearly, listen actively, and tailor your message to different people, you'll earn respect quickly. So, if these traits sound like you, or if you're excited to grow into them, then medical device sales might be a great fit. So what really sets medical device sales apart from other sales roles? Well, first off, the impact is huge. In this field, you're directly contributing to patient care and clinical outcomes. The products you represent, whether it's a surgical tool, a wound care solution, or a diagnostic device, are used in real-world medical situations that can improve lives and sometimes even save them. That's what makes this work feel meaningful. You're also not just working from a desk or on the phone all day. Medical device reps spend a lot of time in the field inside hospitals, clinics, and surgery centers, working closely with healthcare professionals. You'll be in the room, educating staff, answering questions, and helping them get the most out of the technology you're providing. That kind of collaboration gives you insight into how the healthcare system actually operates, and it's something you don't get in most sales jobs. Another thing that makes this career stand out is the technology. You're working with some of the most advanced, cutting-edge medical devices on the market. Tools that are shaping the future of medicine. It keeps the job exciting, and it constantly pushes you to learn and grow. And of course, there's the compensation. Medical device sales offers strong base pay, but the real opportunity comes from commission. If you're motivated and good at what you do, there's a lot of financial upside here. Your hard work really pays off. So overall, between the impact, collaboration, the tech, and the pay, it's a career that checks a lot of boxes for the right person. Now, let's talk about the soft skills you'll need to really thrive in this field. Because medical device sales, it's not just about what you know, but how you show up for others and how you work with others in a strong clinical communication setting. You'll be working closely with doctors, nurses, and surgical teams, so you need to be able to explain things clearly, answer tough questions, and speak their language in a way that earns trust and respect. Problem solving is another big one. Hospitals and clinics deal with complex challenges, and your job is often to help them find solutions through the products you sell. You'll need to think on your feet, especially when something unexpected comes up in the field. Relationship building is essential. This is a relationship-based business. The better your connections with healthcare professionals, the more likely they are to turn to you when they need a solution and to keep working with you over time. Attention to detail matters more than you think. These devices are often used in high-stakes environments like surgeries or diagnostic labs. A small mistake, whether in documentation, delivery, or training, can have serious consequences, so being thorough is non-negotiable. Time management plays a huge role too. You might have back-to-back surgeries, multiple hospitals to visit, and follow-ups to handle all in the same day. Managing your schedule efficiently is what keeps you on top of your game. And finally, adaptability. Every day looks a little different, whether it's learning a new product line, navigating hospital policies, or adjusting on the fly during a procedure. You have to be comfortable with change and quick to pivot. These aren't just nice to haves, they're the foundation of long-term success in medical device sales. Now, let's talk about the hard skills you're going to need to learn to be successful in the field. First up is clinical knowledge. You don't need to be a doctor, but you do need to understand anatomy, basic medical procedures, and how things work inside a hospital surgery setting. That way, you can speak confidently with healthcare professionals and understand where your device fits into the clinical workflow. Then there's product expertise. You have to know your product inside and out, how it works, what makes it better than the competition, and how to clearly communicate that value to a provider. That kind of confidence only comes from knowing your stuff. Regulatory awareness is also really important. The industry is heavily regulated between the FDA, HIPAA, and internal hospital protocols. You need to be aware of the rules and make sure you're staying compliant at all times. Next, we've got healthcare economics. This means understanding how purchasing decisions are made, things like reimbursement, value analysis committees, and how hospitals evaluate return on investment. It's not just about convincing someone your product is good, it's about showing them why it makes sense from a cost and outcomes perspective. All of these hard skills combine to make you someone who not only sells a product, but truly understands it, and that's what makes you credible in this field. So what does the work environment look like in medical device sales? Well, it's definitely not your standard 9-to-5 office setup. This is a field-based role, which means you're going to be spending a lot of time out in hospitals, clinics, and surgery centers. You might be observing live procedures in the operating room, supporting cases, or just walking the halls meeting with different teams. You'll also have a home setup where you handle your administrative work, things like scheduling, CRM updates, and prep for the week. And yes, there's travel. Usually within a set territory, so you're managing accounts locally, but you're on the move. The pace of work, fast and dynamic. Some days start really early, especially if you're supporting surgeries, and you have to be responsive when clinical needs pop up. This isn't the type of job where you sit back and wait. You're always planning accounts, thinking ahead, and staying on your toes. In terms of team structure, you're going to be having your own territory to manage, but you're not doing it alone. You'll work alongside a regional team, collaborate with clinical specialists, and interact with marketing and other departments, so it's both independent and collaborative, and you get to be able to be on your own while establishing yourself while also being a team player. And finally, the career benefits. This field offers some of the best compensation packages in sales, hands down. You've got a strong base salary, commission, and performance-based bonuses. There are also great paths for advancement and specialization if you want to focus on a certain area. While it's a demanding role, it often comes with flexibility that lets you build the kind of work-life balance that works for you. Let's walk through a typical day and what it looks like for a medical sales rep, especially one who provides support in the operating room. You'll usually start your day early, around 7 a.m. This is when you'll arrive to the hospital, prepare for that day's surgeries. You're responsible for making sure your surgical trays are set up correctly in the operating room. Every instrument and implant needs to be accounted for and in place before the procedure begins. This preparation is critical. If anything is missing, it could delay the surgery or impact the outcome for the patient. From around 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., you're inside the operating room supporting the surgical team. Your role here is to act as the product expert. You're not performing surgery, but you're on hand to advise the surgeon or surgical staff of your device, how it's used, what the sizing options are, when to switch instruments, and so on. This is where your technical product knowledge and clinical communication skills really shine. You have to stay calm, sharp, and focused because decisions are happening quickly and the stakes are high. Once procedures are done, your work shifts to the administrative side. From 12 to 3, you'll document what implants were used, submit that information to your company's billing system, and restock all surgical trays to prepare for future procedures. This step ensures that you're always ready, even if another unexpected surgery gets added to the schedule. Then between 3 and 5 p.m., you shift into sales development mode. This could mean sending cold emails, following up with potential clients, or reviewing your accounts and prospects. You'll often work with schedulers and get scheduler information so you can set up appointments with surgeons, hospital staff, or procurement teams to discuss your product lines or upcoming launches. This is where your relationship building and prospecting skills come into play. Finally, around 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., you may spend time reviewing surgical technique guides or product updates. Medical device sales is a field that requires constant learning. Staying sharp on your product knowledge and surgical applications is key to earning trust with surgeons and being seen as a true clinical partner. So while the schedule is demanding and dynamic, every part of your day ties back to one goal: helping medical teams deliver better outcomes for patients and doing it with precision, preparation, and professionalism. Now let's talk about what success really looks like in medical device sales. Because in this field, success isn't just about closing deals, it's about delivering long-term impact for your territory, your customers, and your company. First up is sales revenue. Like any sales role, you'll have targets to hit both quarterly and annually. These are usually tied to dollar amounts between products sold within your territory. But keep in mind, this isn't just about volume. It's about driving value through products that actually meet a clinical need and making a difference for patients. Next, we look at account penetration. This is all about how products deeply are being adopted across different departments between a hospital or healthcare system. Maybe you start in orthopedics, but over time, your goal might be to expand into trauma, spine, or sports medicine. The more departments you reach, the stronger your footprint becomes. Then there's the market share growth. This is about how well your company is performing relative to competitors. Are you replacing a competitor's product in the operating room? Are hospitals switching to your device because they trust your support and value? That's market share growth in action. And finally, one of the most important but sometimes overlooked metrics is customer satisfaction. This means you're not just selling, you're building strong clinical partnerships, showing up reliably, and being seen as someone the surgical team can count on. Positive feedback from surgeons, nurses, and schedulers is a sign you're doing things right. At the end of the day, these four pillars, the revenue, account growth, market presence, and satisfaction, work together. And if you're strong across the board, you'll not only meet your goals, but build a reputation that opens doors throughout your career. If you want to succeed in medical device sales, there are a few key habits and mindsets that will set you apart, especially in the early stages of your career. First, become a clinical resource. This is non-negotiable. You're not just a salesperson, you're someone doctors and nurses rely on in the operating room. That means knowing your product, understanding anatomy, and being able to speak the language of healthcare. If they trust you, they'll listen to you. Second, build your network. Success in this field depends on relationships. Whether it's a surgeon, a scheduler, or someone on the hospital's value committee analysis, every connection matters. People buy from people they like and trust, so be someone who shows up consistently, adds value, and earns respect. Third, master your competition. You need to know what other devices are out there, their strengths and weaknesses, and how your product stacks up. When a surgeon asks why should they switch, you should have a clear answer. Knowing the competitive landscape helps you position yourself to win business. Fourth, embrace continuous learning. The best reps I know are always studying. They're reading surgical technique guides, reviewing clinical studies, or shadowing procedures to stay sharp. The medical field moves fast, and if you're not learning, you're falling behind. And fifth, practice impeccable follow-through. This one sounds simple, but it's huge. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Whether it's sending a quote, delivering a tray, or follow up on a request, reliability builds trust. And in this business, trust is everything. Now that you've got a clear understanding of what this career looks like, the work environment, the daily schedule, and the traits that lead to long-term results, how are you going to break in this field? In the next video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to break into this field, even if you don't have any prior sales or medical experience. We'll cover what hiring managers are really looking for, what steps you need to take to become a competitive candidate, and the best way to break into the field without breaking the bank. You're only one more step away from starting a great new career. Let's keep going. Let's see you in the next video. All right. First off, congratulations on making it to the third and final video of the intro course. If you've made it this far, clearly you're interested in a career in medical device sales and believe you have what it takes. So how do you break into this career? Let's start with a harsh truth. The majority of entry-level reps don't make it. And it's usually not because they aren't smart enough or capable enough, it's because they aren't prepared. They don't understand what the role actually demands. This is a high-performance industry, and if you're not ready to work, you're not going to last. A lot of people underestimate how much grit it takes. They don't put in the work, and they aren't willing to hear no over and over again. To network, to be constantly learning. They think a quick certification or a few connections will be enough, but it's not. Another issue is that most new reps don't come from a healthcare background. They don't know the terminology, the procedures, or how to speak to clinicians in a way that earns trust, and that lack of knowledge makes it tough to land interviews, let alone perform well in the job. And finally, it's just hard to get your foot in the door. This is a competitive field. Without experience or a strong understanding of the space, you're going to get overlooked. That's the reality. But the good news is if you do the right things up front, if you build the right foundation, you absolutely can break in, and I'm going to show you how. So now, you're probably wondering, if breaking into this industry is tough, how do you actually stand out? Well, it starts with your attitude. More importantly than anything else, companies are looking for people who are coachable, people who are hungry to learn. If you show up with the right mindset, ready to grow, eager to absorb information, willing to be a sponge, that alone puts you in the top tier of applicants. I can't tell you how many reps land their first role simply because they were, they showed that they were committed to the process. They were proactive, they asked questions, they followed up. That willingness to learn is something managers are actively looking for. And now, here's where you can take it a step further. Even just a basic understanding of the medical world, knowing the names of common devices, a little anatomy, maybe how a product is used during a procedure, that gives you an immediate edge. You're not expected to be a surgeon, but if you can speak the language just enough to hold your own in a conversation, you'll be way ahead of the person who hasn't done any homework. And finally, let's talk about networking. This is a relationship-driven industry, and when I say that, I mean it. So many hiring decisions come down to who knows you or who referred you. If you can connect with current reps, build genuine relationships, and understand how to approach people without just asking for the job right away, you'll open up opportunities that aren't even posted online. Learn how to network the right way, and it could be the most important skill you develop. Now listen, this is where a lot of people get stuck. They know they want to break into medical device sales, they don't know how. They start Googling, watching random YouTube videos, trying to piece together advice from strangers on LinkedIn, and before long, they're completely overwhelmed. Because let's be honest, there are a million different paths that people try and take. Some people go get expensive certifications, others take random jobs hoping it leads somewhere, and many just spin their wheels sending out dozens of applications with no response. It's easy to get lost, but here's the truth. While there are lots of ways to try and break into this industry, I'm going to tell you about the best one. A path that's focused, strategic, and built specifically for people like you with no experience but a ton of potential. So let's talk about your options for breaking into medical device sales. For years, the standard advice was simple. Go to college, get your degree, and the jobs will follow. But if you're trying to break into medical device sales, that path often comes with major drawbacks. First off, it's expensive. A 4-year degree can easily cost over $50,000, and in many cases, much more than that. That's a significant investment, especially when there's no clear return. You're also looking at a time commitment of 4 or more years before you even have a shot at applying to relevant roles. And during that time, you're learning a broad, generalized curriculum, not something specifically tailored to medical device sales. Sure, a degree might give you a credential, but it doesn't guarantee you'll be prepared or even, to have any success in the field. It doesn't even get you your foot in the door. Your work ethic and your ability to create an opportunity for yourself is worth much more than a degree. Then there's the boot camp option. These programs usually promise fast results, but behind the marketing hype, things aren't always so simple. Many boot camps still cost over $10,000, and while they might be shorter than college, there's still a big commitment in both time and money. The quality of instruction varies a lot, and depending on the program and who's teaching it, even though job placement is often promised, those guarantees usually come with fine print that makes them hard to actually benefit from. You also don't always get clear sense of whether the instructors fully understand the real-world sales process or whether they've even worked in the field themselves. In the end, boot camps are a gamble. You might get a decent experience, or you might end up 10 grand in the hole with little to show for it. Then there's the self-taught route. And look, we respect the hustle. There's a ton of free content out there, YouTube videos, blogs, even medical sales podcasts. But let's be real, going the self-taught route is chaotic. There's no structure, no curriculum, and no clear endpoint. You can spend months, if not years, piecing together bits and pieces of information, not knowing what's relevant and what's a waste of time. Plus, you have no one to turn to when you're stuck or confused without any kind of certification, guidance from someone in the field, or anything like that. It's hard to stand out. The self-taught route might seem free on paper, but the real cost is your time and your momentum. That's why we built Course Careers. Instead of spending $50,000 or rolling the dice on a boot camp or getting lost in a sea of self-taught content, we give you a direct path to success. For just $499, you get everything you need to become career ready in as little as 1 to 3 months. No fluff, no distractions, just the exact knowledge, tools, and strategies you need to break into medical device sales, taught by someone who's actually done it. It's affordable, it's fast, and most importantly, it works. This isn't about taking a gamble. This is about giving yourself the best shot at a high-paying, high-impact career without wasting years or thousands of dollars to get there. Now let's talk about why Course Careers is not just more affordable or faster. It makes the most sense. First, it's more thorough than any other course out there. We don't just scratch the surface. We dive deep into topics that actually matter. Medical terminology, device knowledge, proven sales techniques, how to navigate the healthcare systems like a pro. You're not getting recycled business advice. You're learning a targeted, real-world curriculum designed specifically for medical device sales. And it's focused on the skills that lead to real jobs. We built this course by talking to hiring managers across the industry, figuring out exactly what they look for in entry-level candidates. Then, we reverse engineered the curriculum to match those expectations step by step. Nothing extra, nothing outdated, just the exact skills that will make you stand out. It's also self-paced, which means it works with your life. Whether you're working a full-time job, raising a family, or just juggling a busy schedule, you can complete this course on your own time without sacrificing quality. You're not rushed, you're not delayed, you're in control, and most importantly, you'll be learning from industry insiders who've actually walked the path. Every lesson comes from real experience, not theory, not guesswork, but professionals who know the industry and what it takes to succeed in it. So when you complete this course, you're not just ready in theory, you're equipped with the exact tools, knowledge, and confidence you need to land the role and crush it from day one. This is the smarter, faster, and more effective way to break into medical device sales, and it's already working for thousands of students. Now, let's talk about the cost, because if you've been doing the math in your head, you've probably realized this isn't just the fastest option, it's not just the most practical, it's also the most affordable. Course Careers costs just $499. That's it. Not 50 grand, not 10 grand, not even $1,000. You can either pay it all at once or break it into 4 easy installments of $150. That's less than a pair of shoes a month. And when you look at the return, most entry-level medical device sales jobs start between $60,000 and $80,000 a year, not even including commission. At that salary range, you're looking at an ROI in your first 3 days of work. Not metaphoric, literally. You could pay for the entire course by the end of your first week on the job. There is no clearer investment, no better bet you can make on yourself, and no reason to wait. So now you're probably thinking, okay, this sounds like a smart investment, but what actually happens once I enroll? Let me walk you through it. Step 1, you acquire specialized knowledge. Inside Course Careers, you'll dive into everything that matters in this industry. You'll learn medical terminology, how devices actually function, and how the healthcare ecosystem operates from a sales perspective. We don't just give you facts, we train you to think like a rep. Step 2, you master the interview. We'll show you how to speak the language of healthcare, how to handle objection, how to align your story with what hiring managers are actually looking for. Because most people blow their shot in the interview, but our students walk out prepared, confident, and ready to close. And step 3, you land the job. You'll come out of this with real-world knowledge, a polished resume, and the clarity to target the right positions. You won't be guessing, you'll be applying with intention and getting real results. So let's talk about what you'll learn inside the course. We start with the product knowledge. You'll learn how medical devices actually work, what their clinical applications are, and how to demonstrate those devices effectively. This isn't surface-level fluff, it's the stuff real reps are expected to know when they walk into a hospital. And next, we teach healthcare communication. You'll understand medical terminology, but more importantly, you'll know how to speak with physicians, nurses, and administrators in a way that earns their respect. Because in this field, if you don't sound credible, you won't be taken seriously. And finally, you'll master strategic sales techniques. We're not teaching you how to pitch, we're showing you how to sell consultatively. How to uncover needs and position your product and close deals in one of the most complex and competitive sales environments out there. By the time you finish the course, you won't just know more than other applicants, you'll think like a rep. And that's what gets you hired. Now, training alone isn't enough. You also have to know how to get hired. And that's where most people fail. Because the truth is, getting hired in medical device sales isn't about having a perfect resume. It's about knowing exactly what hiring managers are looking for and knowing how to show up as that person in the interview. So that's why this course gives you insider guidance every step of the way. We show you how to stand out in a competitive field by understanding the exact qualities that companies look for in new reps. This isn't guesswork, it's real. It's based on experience from people who've hired and trained entry-level reps themselves. You'll also learn how to answer interview questions the right way. Not just what to say, but why it matters and how to phrase your answers to show both clinical understanding and sales ability. We even walk you through the unwritten rules of the hiring process, the things that make or break your chances, but no one ever teaches. And finally, we'll show you what to bring to the table in the interview, so you're not just another applicant, but the obvious choice. This kind of prep that makes you look like someone that's already been in the field, even if you haven't. Because remember, employers care about one thing and one thing only. Can you do the job? Not a 4-year biology degree, not a business degree, not even prior sales experience. What you need is the right mindset, the right skills, and the right training. Because in this field, strong work ethic outcompetes formal education almost every time. Hiring managers aren't asking where'd you go to school, they're asking can this person do the job? Can they learn fast and be persistent and close deals? And the truth is, a focused training program like the one we build at Course Careers is far more valuable than general business or science degrees that don't teach you how to sell in this environment. You don't need to be a medical expert. You need to understand how the devices work, how to speak the language, and how to build trust quickly with healthcare professionals. That's why natural communication skills and drive can get you further in this field than any classroom ever could. Bottom line, all hiring managers care about today is can you do the job, and we'll make sure the answer is yes. Let's take a a look at a job posting. This is a real job posting from a real company. They're hiring a pharmaceutical sales rep, a role that earns $86,000 to $116,000 per year. And take a look at the qualification. No college degree required. Instead, they're looking for things like strong communication skills, sales ability, leadership, organization, the ability to speak confidently about technical products. That's exactly what we teach you in this course. You don't need to spend 4 years in college or bury yourself in student debt just to get your foot in the door. What matters is whether you can do the job, whether you can speak the language, earn trust, and drive results. We'll give you everything you need to check every box on this list so you can walk into the interviews knowing you're exactly what they're looking for. Now, maybe you're thinking, okay, but a lot of the job postings say they want a degree, or they list 3 years of experience, or they require specific tools or product knowledge. Let me tell you exactly what all of that really means, because we've worked with people in this industry and we've talked to hiring managers. Let's break it down. When a posting says degree required or preferred, what they're really saying is we've gotten burned too many times by applicants who had no clue what they were doing. They don't actually care about the degree. They just want someone who knows how to show up and deliver results. If you have the right skills, you're still in the running regardless of your academic background. Next up, when they say years of experience, they're not being literal. They don't really need someone with 3 or 5 years on paper. What they're looking for is someone who understands the medical environment, someone who can talk the talk, handle themselves professionally, and won't flake out after a week. And finally, when they mention required knowledge or specific technology tools, they're just saying, we'd love it if you know this already, but it's not a deal breaker. Especially in this market where their great candidates are hard to find, most companies are more than happy to train you if you show up prepared, sharp, and confident. That's exactly what we teach at Course Careers, and exactly what Course Careers is designed to help you to do. All right, so we've cleared the air on what the job requirements really mean. Let's talk about what actually matters when it comes to landing the role. You need to show hiring managers that you understand the products, the network, and the process, and the problems you're going to be selling into. First, product knowledge. You need to understand how a device works. Not at an engineer level, but enough to explain its function, its clinical use case, and why a doctor or a nurse would benefit from using it. You should be able to walk someone through a demo and make it click for them. Second, real clinical context. You can't just speak in theory, you need real examples. You need to be able to say something like this. This product is often used in outpatient surgeries to reduce recovery time. Or, here's a scenario where this device saved time in an emergency room. Hiring managers want to hear those kinds of insights because that tells them that you've done your homework. You're not just interested in this role, you've prepared for it. That's what Course Careers gives you. We don't just teach you medical devices in a vacuum. We train you using real scenarios, real terminology, and real-world expectations. That way, when you show up to the interview, you're not hoping you seem qualified, you are qualified. They're also looking for someone who understands the industry, can speak the language, and knows how to support patient outcomes. So what does that look like? It means being able to talk confidently about medical devices, how they work, what they do, and why they matter in a clinical setting. It means knowing how healthcare systems operate, from how procedures are scheduled to how decisions are made inside hospitals. It means using real medical terminology, not just throwing around buzzwords, but actually understanding the workflow of doctors, nurses, and patients. And more than anything, it means being detail-oriented, communicating clearly, and showing that you understand how these products improve lives. If you can do that, you're not just qualified, you're the person they've been hoping would apply. And one of the things that's going to be crucial in getting interviews is your resume. You're going to need a standout resume to even get a chance of a hiring manager noticing you. And no, that doesn't mean stuffing it with buzzwords or fluff. It means highlighting the skills and knowledge that matter most in medical sales. So, what should that look like? Start with your transferable skills. Think customer service, relationship building, communication, problem solving. If you've worked with people, solved problems, or explained things clearly, all of that counts. Then showcase your relevant knowledge. Even if you've never worked in a hospital, if you understand medical terminology, clinical setting, or how devices impact patient care, make that clear. The goal is simple. Paint a picture that says, this person gets it. They may be new, but they already speak our language. That's what gets you callbacks, and that's what gets you in the door. Okay, so your resume is solid. That's a huge step. But here's the thing, most recruiters, hiring managers are heading straight to your LinkedIn right after they read it. So don't let that be a weak point. We'll show you how to create a highly optimized LinkedIn profile that gets hiring managers' attention and acts as an asset instead of your liability. You'll also be getting additional support from Course Careers to help you through the entirety of this process. First, you'll be part of our community, a network of peers and mentors to help you along your journey. You'll be able to connect with other individuals in your same exact spot so that you're not going to be going through this alone. Second, you'll earn a Course Careers certification certification, a credential that shows that you know the language, the tools, and the environment of medical device sales. It's a real signal to employers that you're prepared. And if you're looking for even more support, you've got it. We offer access to real, experienced medical device professionals, people who've been in the field and know what it takes to succeed. You can tap into personalized mentorship where you get direct, tailored advice based on your background, your goals, and your questions. And when it's time to land that job, you can get step-by-step guidance for that too. From crafting your outreach messages to preparing for interviews to negotiating your salary, we offer both free and paid coaching options with different formats and products so you can choose what best fits your career. So let's talk about where you're going to be getting in this course. This isn't some surface level crash course. It's a deeply structured, hands-on program designed to take you from zero experience to confidently stepping into medical device interviews, speaking the language, understanding the products, and knowing how to sell in clinical settings. You're getting over 100 high-quality video sessions. Each module was crafted to create you real, practical knowledge and skill sets. The kind of insight you normally have to spend years in the field to pick up. We're going to walk you through every essential area: medical terminology, common devices, how hospitals and clinics actually operate, and most importantly, how to sell in those environments. You'll also complete 25 plus assessments along the way, not just to check a box, but to make sure you're actually retaining the information that matters. Product features, surgical protocols, compliance standards, the stuff hiring managers expect you to know. It's all laid out for you in a clear step-by-step format. We've removed all the guesswork, so instead of wondering what to do next, you'll always know exactly where you're headed and how far you've come. And when you're finished, you'll earn a recognized certification that shows employers you're ready. Not just with theory, but with the kind of industry-aligned training that gives you a real competitive edge. This is the most thorough course available for medical device sales. It's not fluff, it's not filler, it's exactly what you need and nothing that you don't. So what will you exactly be learning in this course? The curriculum was built from the ground up to prepare you for the real-world challenges of medical device sales. Not just in theory, but in practice. We start with the big picture. In Module 1, you get a full introduction to the medical device sales industry. We'll walk you through different market segments, explain where the biggest opportunities are, and help you identify which career path fits you best. Then, in Module 2, we dive into medical terminology and anatomy, the language of the industry. If you want to be taken seriously in this field, you need to speak confidently with clinicians. This module gives you the tools to do exactly that. From there, Module 3 walks you through the major device categories and their clinical applications. You'll learn how to understand and explain devices based on how they work, where they're used, and what problems they solve. In Module 4, we zoom out and look at how the healthcare ecosystem actually operates, and you'll learn who the key stakeholders are, how hospitals and clinics make purchasing decisions, and how to navigate those complex environments as a sales rep. Then, in Module 5, we focus on what really sets top reps apart. Consultative selling techniques. You'll learn how to build trust with providers, uncover clinical needs, and position your product as the solution. This is value-based selling, and it's what gets you hired and paid. In Module 6, it's all about compliance and regulation, because no one's going to trust you in an operating room if you don't understand FDA rules, HIPAA requirements, or hospital protocol. This module ensures you're not just knowledgeable, but also credible and safe to work with. Once you've mastered the skills and knowledge section of the course, we're then going to walk you through how to take that knowledge you learned and turn it into a job. This course doesn't just teach you what you need to know, it shows you exactly how to break into the industry, even if you don't have a degree or prior experience. We kick things off by helping you build a strong, med device specific resume and your LinkedIn profile. You'll learn how to highlight the skills, translate your past experience into relevant language, and position yourself as someone who's ready to step into the field. You'll even see real-world examples of optimized profiles from successful reps. From there, we walk you through the process of landing interviews. Everything from where to find the best job postings, to how to stand out when you apply, to building relationships with hiring managers and recruiters. Next, we train you to turn those interviews into job offers. We'll show you how to answer common medical device sales interview questions, how to frame your story, and how to handle objections with confidence. This is your chance to stand out from the crowd, and we'll teach you how to do it. And once you're in, we don't stop there. The final section is focused on long-term career success. You'll learn how to navigate your first 90 days on the job, how to build and maintain strong relationships with providers, and how to grow into higher paying roles like senior reps, team leads, or even sales managers. This course was designed to take you from zero to hired, and everything in this section is here to make sure that that happens. Let's talk about the numbers. This course costs $499. The average starting salary for a medical device rep is $60,000 a year, and that's just in year one. That means if you land a job, you'll make your entire investment back in less than 3 days of working in the field. And from there, the returns don't just add up, they multiply. By year 3, many reps are making over $100,000. As you gain more experience, grow into your territory, or move into surgical sales, your earning potential can easily push well beyond that. This isn't just a course, it's a launchpad into one of the most lucrative and respective sales careers out there. And at under $500, you're getting access to insider level training, real mentorship, and step-by-step job placement. For less than the cost of a single college credit, the question really becomes, are you ready to start earning like a professional, or do you want to keep waiting? So what are you waiting? For just $499, you can unlock everything we've talked about: the training, the mentorship, the certifications, the job search help, all of it. You can even split that into 4 interest-free payments of $150. And here's the best part: you're protected by a 14-day money-back guarantee. That means you can jump in, check out the course, and if you find out it's not for you, you get every dollar back. No risk, no pressure. But if it is right for you, and you follow the roadmap we've laid out, you could be just weeks away from landing your first role in medical device sales. This is your chance to finally break into one of the highest paying sales careers in the world. With zero experience, no college degree required, and a support system behind you every step of the way. So we're almost at the end of this intro course, my friends, but I want to make sure you have 0 questions left. So once this video ends, you hit that button below and enroll in the course and get started. First, is this course suitable for beginners? Absolutely. This course was built specifically for people with 0 experience in medical device sales. You don't need a background in healthcare, you don't need a degree, and you don't need any prior sales training. We start from the ground up, teaching you the industry, the language, the products, and the process, and walk you through it step by step. It's structured to be clear, practical, and easy to follow. So if you're willing to put in the effort, we'll give you everything you need to break into this field and actually succeed. By the end of the course, you'll be equipped with the skills, knowledge, and confidence to start applying to jobs in this high-paying industry and stand out. Another question I want to clear up is, will this guarantee me a job? That's a great question, and one that comes up a lot. Now, as much as I'd love to say this course guarantees a job, the reality is no course can truly do that. Medical device sales is a competitive industry, and there are a lot of variables involved. Your effort, your communication, your ability to follow through, it all matters. That said, this course is designed to give you everything you need to compete. The knowledge, the tools, the game plan, it's all here, and if you commit to it, you take it seriously and apply what you learn, you'll be putting yourself in a position to break into one of the most lucrative sales careers out there. We've seen it happen for so many people, and there's no reason it can't happen for you. Will additional coaching be offered? Yes, we offer optional paid coaching for those who want a little extra support. Medical device sales is a competitive field, and sometimes having direct access to someone who already walked the path can make a huge difference. Whether it's personalized feedback, interview prep, or just someone to hold you accountable, coaching can help you level up and move faster. It's not required, but for those who want to go further, faster, it's a great option to consider. You've seen what's possible. You've seen how this course is structured, the skills you'll learn, the support you'll get, and most importantly, where it can take you. So don't put this off. You could be one decision away from completely changing your life. If you're serious about breaking into medical device sales, this is your moment. Click below to get started, and I'll see you inside.